I'm here in Milano, and Milano is definitely the most important place for design in the world. And therefore, I'm talking about cradle to cradle as a design concept, a design assignment, which will give designers far more power and far more strength in the future. And so I would like to discuss the consequences for Milano as well, if you can do better. When we planned in the European Union, together with the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, a lot of people, originally we planned to call it a cradle-to-cradle economy, not a circular economy. The reason that we call it circular economy is mostly to get countries on board, like Poland, Bulgaria, Romania, like a lot of Eastern European countries which never had any environmental discussion. But a circular economy is a design tyranny. It's stagnating. It's not, doesn't make sense. It was only important to understand the context. But circular is bloody boring. You end up with the same thing over and over again. That is not really exciting. This is why I'm talking about the future. I'm talking about, in this lecture, how to organize the future to make products which are not competing with India or China. Because of a discussion we had over 40 years of all this blame and shame and environmental debate, we now can use it as an innovation engine. You see here in this diagram that people are standardizing our footprint and standardizing our human development from 0 to 1. This is pretty stupid because we cannot standardize human development. It's diversity. And this is intended to minimize our human footprint. What I'm talking about is a beneficial footprint, not minimizing our footprint. I want to look at you and say, nice that you're here, not could you be 10% less evil. In Italy, we lose 12 times more life by inhaling fine dust than we do by traffic accidents. 12 times more. Or in Europe, there are 450,000 people who die of fine dust, and only 40,000 people who die in traffic accidents. This is still far too many, but it's not. The main problem is not the traffic accident, it's inhaling fine dust, which ends our life. We are losing 5 years of our lifespan as an average, you and I, by inhaling fine dust. But I'm focusing on indoor air quality because the indoor air quality in a building is about 3 to 8 times worse than the average outside urban air quality. If you take the average Milano outside air compared to the inside of a building, it's about 3 to 8 times worse inside the building. So just by printing one page with a laser printer, we are emitting 8 billion pieces of fine dust, particles of fine dust, just by one page. And they work like little harpoons as they cut through our cells, and they make a calcification, they make irritation, inflammation. And so when you just learn one thing from today, take a laser printer out of your environment, wherever you are, because I'm supporting more than 2,000 people who got ill by laser printers, and it's really terrible. So laser printers are the biggest single source of fine dust in office buildings. The inkjet ink printers are as good and they're cheaper. Just if you learn one thing from today, this is enough. So people try to be more efficient, to save, they call it eco-efficiency, you can hear it everywhere. They try to reduce, to avoid, to minimize. This is a picture from Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon, where 300,000 global Anderson consultants try to tell people to be more efficient, how to get more out of the same resource. When I was a child, a cow was producing 5,000 liters milk. Today we are up in the Netherlands. I'm teaching in Rotterdam at the Erasmus School of Management. We are up to 12,000 liters. Shall I squeeze another 1,000 liter out of this poor cow to be more efficient? Shall I add another pair of legs for this poor sheep to be more efficient? So we need to, instead of making the wrong things perfect, we need to say what is the right thing. So what is healthy food, instead of trying to make existing stuff more efficient. We think it's environmental protection when we destroy a little less. Reduce your waste production, reduce your energy bill, reduce your water consumption. You can see it in every hotel. It's, oh, please reduce the use of towels, protect the environment. But you're not protecting, you're only minimizing damage. You're not protecting your child when you beat your child only 5 times instead of 10 times, do you? So traditionally people think, make waste, and we have plastic in the oceans for 10 million tons every year adding 10 million tons. Does it make sense to reduce it by 10%? Not really. So now the biomass of fish is less than the biomass, the mass of plastic in the ocean. So it's a design problem. From the beginning, it doesn't help just to think circular. It's wrong. We find, with my students walking along the beach, I find 400, 500 pieces of plastic in one bird. This is a design problem, isn't it? So here are some slides for that. We are just at the beginning. We call it recycling when we get 9 elements out of 40 ones out of a mobile phone. 9. All the rare ones, gallium, indium, germanium, whatever, are all lost in recycling. We only recycle a little silver, a little gold, a little aluminum, a little copper. This doesn't make sense. There is no recycling. It's just downcycling. And they call it circular economy. Take a car. A car has about 40 different steel alloys. And what do we make with it? Building steel. So we lose all the rare materials like nickel, cobalt, manganese. It's all gone. It's all diluted in the building steel, and this makes so much waste indirectly, far more than any municipal waste. So this is, I'm talking not about sustainability. It's more that we have our culture behind it, which says you're evil and you only can be less bad, and only God can redeem you. This is why we try to reduce, avoid, minimize, and the highest is to be climate neutral. A city like Milano wants to be climate neutral. How stupid. Did you ever see a climate neutral tree? So we want to be more stupid than a tree. You can be only neutral when you don't exist. So it has to do with our religion, that we feel so bad to be here that we try to be less bad, and the best is we are not existing, because only God can redeem us. So we want to be sustainable, which is very sad. This is one of the saddest things I ever saw in my life. Sustainable development is development that meets the needs of present generation without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their needs. How sad. Think about you come home and you tell your children that you don't want to compromise their needs. Don't you want to be good for them? If I ask you, how is your relationship with your wife, what do you say? Sustainable? And I'm really sorry for you. No innovation is sustainable. And the mobile phone was not sustainable for the ones who had stationary phones. The steam engine was not sustainable for the ones who had horses. Innovation is never sustainable, otherwise it's not an innovation. So this is a traditional cradle-to-grave eco-efficiency. You're 100% evil, 90% evil, 80% of your goal is 0. This is where you throw your people out of business, because you tell if you don't buy it, it's even better. Do you really need it? So the opposite is effectiveness. Look, you say, hey, I have 10% of what is necessary, but I want to be in 2030. This is where I want to be. The more you buy, the quicker we are. Now you have a positive goal, and buying something, your customer becomes a change agent because he helps you to change the company by purchasing. So it makes sense to minimize the use of oil and gas, no doubt, but what's our positive footprint? When I was 22 years old, I was analyzing a TV set, and I asked the people, do you want to own 4,360 different chemicals, or do you want to watch TV? Then I was claimed to be a communist, an eco-communist. Yeah. But today we understand we don't want to own these chemicals, we want to watch TV, isn't it? So at that time ownership was a religion. Today we understand it's a service. A TV is a service. A washing machine. Do you want to own 150 different types of plastics? No, you want to wash your clothes. You want to have clean clothes. That's what you want. Yeah.